G'day folks, today we're going to introduce to you a new tool that we've developed. We're calling it the ATS Trail, and basically it's a tool designed to help you understand the impact of different types of trailing stop on your system and how they can yield different results. So when you load this on for the first time, you'll be presented with the button here to add a line. Basically what you do is you click on that and a line will appear. You can pick that up and move it around, and what we're looking for here is a potential entry. So with this line here, what we're saying is, had we taken a trade at this point, we probably would have gone for sell trade. So by clicking sell, we open up a initial stop loss. That stop loss can be moved up and down, but effectively what you're saying is we're going to take a trade on the open of this bar and we're going to set it to that stop loss. So what we want to see now is what the impact of different types of stop loss and how that affects the operation. So a couple of things here. You've got R, as we talk about, is 435 ticks. So from the open of the bar back up to the stop loss line, 435 ticks. So that gives us a starting point. We can trail by R. We can have a continuous trail. We can trail off the open price, the high price, the low price, or the close price, our choice. And by clicking different buttons, you'll see in a moment how that might affect the actual trailing stop we see. We can have a 1R, 2R, 3R, 4R trailing stop, all the way up to 15R trail, just to see the impact of the different trails. So just to give you an idea, if we go for, say, a 1R trail, clicking the 1R button, you can see here we've got a line painted on here. The red line is indicative of the trailing stop, and where price would have intersected with that trailing stop is where our trade would have ended. So the yellow line shows you progression of the trade. The red line shows you the trailing stop. And in this particular instance, we've received a profit of 4.8R, or effectively over 2,000 ticks. So that's a pretty good trail. And by just changing the settings here, we get the opportunity to see the impact of different trails. So had we gone for a 2R trail, our trailing stop would have in fact gone a little bit further, and in this case we would have seen a 6.5 profit. It's interesting because you're playing with these numbers, you actually see that a 3R trail delivers a worse result than a 2R trail, which might have been intuitive, but is rather interesting. Similarly, if we trail off the open price, we get a different result than if we would trail off the high price. So by having different selections in terms of the open, high, low, or closed, effectively we get different results from our trade. And so the idea of this is to be able to just go through and monitor and effectively see what the different arrangements might be. As well as having a continuous trail, we've also got the ability to have a step trail. In other words, the trail won't change until there's a complete step of, if we go back to 2R setting, for example, if we click the step position, each one of these steps is effectively 2R. And so price doesn't move until the 2R move has occurred. So the difference between a continuous trail or a step trail can easily be demonstrated here in terms of the results. And again, you can play with these numbers to see what the impacts might be. The other option we've got here is, this is currently trailed by R. R is defined by our stop loss. We could change this to go by clicking on the ATR button. We can now trail by ATR, average true range. So in this instance, the ATR is effectively 1.8 ATR is our initial stop setting, and we're trailing in steps of 2R or 3R or 4R. Now the reason we see a step change with a few whiskers on it is because we're actually measuring the ATR at each point in time, and so as the ATR varies, the step change will vary. But it becomes more of a volatility measure by using an ATR trail. Now another little option here is if for example we set a 2R trail, at the moment we've got the stop loss at 1.8 ATR. This little button down here, set a stop loss. By clicking on that button, the ATR in fact takes on the same level as the as the settings for the trail. So hence we have 2 ATR. If we went to 3, we could set the stop loss at 3 ATR. So again, you've got the options there of playing with those different numbers. And once you've done all that and you've exhausted your opportunities to see what's going on, this auto button gives you the ability to have the EA in the background calculate out what the actual best settings would have been in this particular instance. So by clicking on the auto button, it works through, and you'll see the numbers down the bottom here where we've got I'll try and zoom out to give you a bit of an idea, but that pink line shows you where in fact this particular trail would have stopped. So in this instance, a step trail of 3 ATR, or 3R, sorry, not ATR, trailing off the high effectively gives you 31,000 tick return. So if we were able to prejudge our stop settings, this is what we would like to see. Now all this goes to highlight in fact that the choice of trail is really up to yourself, but there is a huge variance between different trail settings. So this tool is really just designed to open your eyes up to seeing the opportunities there and how you might choose to use different stop settings. By the way, the red buttons here, the step 3 ATR is still shown in the top left hand corner here. So you can see that there are very different results that you can achieve just by having a different stop settings. So that's it for now. We'll show you another video shortly on how to load this down, and it'll become available shortly to our members.